Morning, everyone, or afternoon, or evening, depending on where you're joining me from. I'm going to give you guys all just a few seconds to join me live here today on this beautiful Monday morning. Well, it's Monday morning for me. Let me know where you are from so I get a better sense of what you guys are dealing with at the moment. So welcome, everyone. My name is Maria Malik. I am your corporate speaking coach. And if you don't know, then I help corporate introverts from all over the world overcome their fear of public speaking, get better at impromptu speaking, and so much more. I absolutely love what I do. And today I have an awesome live for you guys about strategies to reduce filler words. So we're going to start in just a moment. Before we do, I would love for you guys to tell me, number one, where you are from, and number two, if you are an introvert or an extrovert. So I typically help introverts, but I know that a lot of the things that I teach also can help extroverts as well. So let me know either way where you're from, where you're dialing in from. One of the coolest things about these lives and just being online is that you can reach people from all over the world. And I absolutely love that. I love that I can talk to somebody from India, talk to someone from Australia while being here in California. So let me know again in the chat box where you're from and if you're an introvert or extrovert. So once again, thank you for joining me. We have a lot to cover today. We are going to get started right away. Before we do, sorry, one more thing. I do want to let you guys know that I am hosting a live masterclass this Saturday. And I would love for you to join if you're an introvert and if you are someone that just feels invisible in the corporate world, you don't know how to speak, you don't know how to give good presentations, and you want to get promoted quickly. So if that sounds like you and it sounds like something you might be interested in, then do go onto my profile and click on free live masterclass. You'll be able to join. I only have 100 seats. I do have to let you guys know this. I can only take on 100 people during that live masterclass because there's a lot of interactive exercises that we're going to do. And I do a Q&A. So anything more than 100, I'm just not able to handle that on my own. So please, if you are interested, grab your seat, and the day of, make sure you come on time because after there's 100 people in there, I have to close the doors. So yeah, go onto my profile. You can also go to www.theintrovertedspeaker.com. I don't have these masterclasses very often, so don't miss out. If this is something that you have been trying to get better at for a while, here's your opportunity. And again, it's absolutely free. All right, let's start. So we're talking about filler words here. If you don't know what filler words are things like so, all of these words that we use that typically don't have a meaning. Some of these words might have a meaning. For example, so and have a meaning, but when it becomes too repetitive and you say it too many times, it does tend to become a filler word. Why do you want to reduce these filler words? Why are we even talking about strategies to reduce them? There's a couple of reasons. The first reason is when you use words like so what ends up happening is that it makes you sound not as confident in what you are saying. And if you're a corporate introvert, if you are just in the corporate world in general, no matter what type of personality you are, you want to sound confident when you're speaking. So when you start using words like, yeah, it shows a lot of hesitation. It shows nervousness. And it shows that, again, at the end of the day, you're not confident in what you're saying. If you're not confident in what you're saying, then why would your audience feel any confidence towards you? That's why it's very important for you to reduce them. And actually, this is something that I've had a debate with a couple of people where some people say, well, what's wrong with filler words? I should be able to use them and it shouldn't have a negative impact on what I'm saying. Yes and no. I agree with that. Having or using filler words, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to completely make you sound like you have no idea, absolutely no idea what you're talking about. But there are other ways to connect with your audience, and there are other ways to show that you're human. And I know people love that. People love seeing you make not mistakes, but they love seeing you be real. And if you use filler words, if that's part of your speech, then that's okay. I understand. But like I said, there are other ways to connect with your audience. And today, if there's one thing that you do, if you don't completely eliminate those filler words, at least try to reduce them. So I am a big advocate for, hey, nope, let's just completely remove filler words. It's okay if you have maybe one a minute, that's all right. I had a huge filler word problem, but we'll talk about that in a second. If you're just joining me right now, again, we'll be talking about strategies for reducing filler words. I have 5 things that I want you guys to start doing. But before we get into it, please let me know one more time where you are from, what part of the world, as well as if you are an introvert or extrovert. I see we have a lot of introverts here and we have some extroverts as well. I do have my chat open and I try to look at it as much as I can. But please let me know, are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? And what part of the world are you from? So let me tell you my story quickly, and then we'll get into what you should actually be doing to reduce those filler words. I had a big problem with filler words. I would use ums a lot. I would use so a lot. And I feel like I still use so. That's something I'm still working on. But I've managed to completely take out the ums, the uhs, and those extra ones that really have no meaning whatsoever. So see, there it is. So is okay once in a while, but once you start using it too many times again, it becomes a problem. I had to completely eliminate those filler words. I am at a point now where I don't use them at all. And I've come a long way, a long way. And when I listen to myself from previous years versus today, you can just tell right away there's a huge difference only because I've removed those filler words. That one thing alone made a huge impact in just my communication style. Also, if you guys look at some of the greatest speakers in the world, Barack Obama, if you look at any other speaker that you like, you're going to notice that they don't use filler words that much. Or if they do, they're very minimal. There might be like 1 or 2 here or there. So see, there it is. So that's one, like I said, I am working on. The point is filler words should be reduced. If you can't completely eliminate them, that's okay. At least try to reduce them. Let's get into what you should do to try to reduce them. The first and most important thing when it comes to trying to reduce filler words is to practice deliberately slowing down. Let me repeat that. You need to practice deliberately slowing down your pace. Dial it back. If you're somebody that uses a lot of filler words, that means you're speaking too fast. There's that disconnect between what you are thinking and the words that are actually coming out. Because think about it this way. When you use filler words, you're about to say something and it usually comes in to fill in that gap, fill in that space, hence the name filler word. So you're like, okay, and then you close your mouth, what was I going to say? And that turns into an. So this is another reason why you might not sound as confident, because now it makes it seem like you don't know what you're about to say or what is the thing that you're trying to get across. Definitely try to slow down your speech. It's going to be weird at first because you're going to be like, this is not how I speak. Doesn't this sound kind of ridiculous? Or I know I don't sound like this, or I know people are going to feel a little bit uncomfortable. That's okay. You want to practice reducing filler words. This is the number one thing you should do. Slow down your pace. Eventually, when you realize that, hey, I'm using less and less filler words, you can speed it up then. Bring your pace back afterwards. That's what I had to do. I had to literally be so deliberate about what I'm saying, what words I'm using. And that was the one big thing that really helped me. It's something that really helps my clients as well. Slow down, give yourself more time to think before you speak, which is really going to reduce those filler words. That's the first and probably the most important thing that you should be doing. If you're with me so far, let me know. Sorry, my hair is just not cooperating today. But if you're with me so far and you've heard what I said, let me know. Let me know what you've learned so far. The best way to learn and retain information is by repeating it. So write down in the chat box right now, what is the most important thing that you should do? I just talked about it. Write it down so that it stays and it sticks with you. Okay, that's the first thing. By the way, again, just a reminder, if you are an introvert, if you are looking to get better at public speaking, you want to get promoted and you want to move up the corporate ladder, then I'd love to invite you to my live masterclass that's going to be held this Saturday. There's only 100 spots left, so grab yours right now. It's going to be an hour and a half of me teaching you It's a whole presentation, lots of stories, lots of actionable items for you guys to do. And we're going to do some stuff, some practice live as well. So if you're interested, go onto my profile, click on free live masterclass and grab your seat. Like I said, there's only 100 seats. Once those 100 seats are filled, I close it off. Also, I don't let in any more people after that, just because this is more interactive and everything. Whoops, sorry. Okay. You can also go to www.theintrovertedspeaker.com. Okay. Let's continue on our strategies for reducing filler words. Ums, uhs, ooh, so, you know. What's the next thing that you should do? The next thing that you should start doing is adding in more pauses while you speak. If you're someone that uses a lot of filler words, that means you're just going too fast. And if you're going too fast, that means the chances of you using pauses is probably very, very slim. So start adding some pauses in your speech. I know, I get it. People think that pauses are weird. They're going to be awkward and you start getting a little bit of anxiety when you add in those pauses. But I promise you, they're actually very, very effective because it gives people a little bit of time to process what you're saying. And at the same time, when they process what you're saying, they'll want to continue listening to you because now they're not playing catch up anymore. You get what I mean? Add in those pauses. And on the reverse side, the way that it helps you is that it gives you that time that you need to really gather your thoughts and choose your words more carefully and be more selective about what you're saying, which in turn is going to help you sound much more confident. So add in those pauses, even if it feels weird to you. Add in those pauses. When you slow down your speech, you add in those pauses. It's going to make you sound like you're in control over your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, all of that. And what is a person like that called? A confident person. So if you want to be a confident speaker, reduce those filler words, add in those pauses. All right. That was number 2. What's the third thing? By the way, if everyone is still with me, let me know. And I do have my chat open. I like to make sure you guys can hear me okay and that technology is still all right because, you know, things happen when you're live. So let me know that you guys are tuning in still, you're listening, you're learning, and that if this is helping you or not. Also let me know that. Because we have 3 more things we're going to talk about when it comes to reducing those filler words. All right, I'm seeing some messages come in. Okay. All right, awesome. You guys can hear me. We're still good. All right, let's continue. So number 3, what is the third thing that you should be doing? If you use a lot of filler words, you have to start being more mindful of your speech patterns. So another strategy for really reducing those filler words is to be mindful of your speech patterns. That means you have to listen to yourself when you speak and make note of any filler words that you tend to use because everyone uses different types of filler words. So some people might use a lot. Some people might use so a lot. Right here, some people might use you know a lot. Like I said, you know also becomes a form of a filler word if you're using it too many times or using it too often. So that could be one that you might need to fix. So once you're aware of these patterns, you can actually begin to start eliminating them, okay? And I'll show you or tell you guys what you should do to see, okay, what filler words am I using? Even right now, think about it. Listen to yourself when you speak. What are some things that you say? Because you'd be surprised. You'd be really, really surprised. And I'm going to tell you when we get to number 5, what you need to do to really understand what you're saying and what you're doing when it comes to your speech pattern. So listen to yourself. Are you using a lot? Are you using so a lot? Are you using a lot? Some people use a lot as well. Everyone uses different types of filler words. There's actually a lot of different types of filler words. I've sometimes heard some people use specific ones that I'm like, wow, I've never heard anyone use that. So everyone uses something different. And the point is for you to recognize which filler words you are using. That's what's going to help you eliminate them because now you know, okay, I have a so problem. I have a you know problem. You know is actually very common, believe it or not. A lot of people say, you know. So instead of saying, you know, you need to fill that you know in with actual words because when you're saying, you know, it's like saying that I don't know the words to express what I'm talking about, but you understand, right? You understand what I'm saying. No, do not do that. Eliminate you know from your vocabulary, because that is also a form of a filler word. All right. So again, if you guys are, see, there it is. So how many times have I said so? I told you guys I have a so problem, but working on it. I've gotten rid of the ums, the uhs, the you know, and so is that last one. What's another one? Like is another one. A lot of people use like this and like that, and you know, like this. So like can also become a filler word, but it's one of those filler words that has a meaning. But if you use it too many times, it becomes repetitive. If it's a pattern, it's a filler word. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. So we've talked about practicing speaking slowly, taking pauses in speaking. We've talked about being more mindful with your speech patterns and really identifying what you are even using in the first place when it comes to those filler words. Okay, let's move on to the next one. And if you're still with me, let me know in the chat box. If you have questions, drop them in there. I try to go back towards the end and answer some of your questions. And if you are someone that uses a lot of filler words, say yes. Say yes, Maria, I use a lot of filler words. Or if you know someone that uses a lot of filler words, say yes as well. Because by now you should know exactly what filler words are, how to identify them, and how to pick up on, okay, that's a filler word, and also pick up on what filler words you specifically use in order for you to eliminate them. So one more time, I'm going to remind you guys, I do have a live masterclass coming up. It's going to be different where I actually have a whole presentation. It's going to be an hour and a half long. If this is helping you, you're learning something right now, then the masterclass is going to be a ton of more information. It's going to be actionable steps for you to start doing right now, so you as an introvert can become a more confident speaker. So we're going to talk about how you can overcome your fear of public speaking, how to give better presentation, how to get better at impromptu speaking, and lastly, how to get promoted faster, because it's all tied in together. So if you're an introvert, you want to get promoted faster, do join my masterclass. That's coming up this Saturday, you guys. I'm excited. I haven't done them for a while, and I'm a little bit nervous, to be honest. I'm nervous because you guys know I'm an introvert. I'm completely out of my comfort zone, but I do this to show you guys that us introverts can do it too. We don't have to let the extroverts do all of this stuff, the big things that, you know, the whole talking in front of large audiences. Introverts can do it. And if I personally can do it, and I'm no one special, I'm a very ordinary person, an introvert, had a very hard time in the corporate world. If someone like me can do it, I promise you, you can do it as well. So do join me live in the masterclass. There's a couple of ways that you can get your seat, secure your spot. First is just go to my profile, click on the link in my bio. It says free live masterclass. Get your seat as soon as you can, or you can go to www.theintrovertedspeaker.com. Okay, excited to see you guys there. It's going to be a lot of fun, very interactive, and it's going to be all introverts, which is nice. Okay, let's move on to number 4 in strategies that you need to start doing right now to start reducing your filler words. I am standing, by the way. I don't know if you guys could tell. I got a stand-up desk because honestly, I sit all day and work, and that had to change. So I'm testing this out. So far, I like it. I like that I have more movement and I can move around. So number 4, let me get back on track. Number 4 is to use visual aids to help you organize your thoughts. Why is this important? Why should you have some sort of visual aid? And by visual aid, I don't necessarily mean pictures, graphics. You can simply just have your thoughts, the things that you're going to talk about, write them down and put them in a format that's going to be easy for you to follow. This is something I work on with my clients. We call them skeleton notes, where you write down what you're going to say in a structure so that you can easily follow along, so that you don't forget what you need to say and you don't miss any points. Because one of the reasons why we use filler words is because, again, your thought process, you're like, what was I going to say next? I don't know. Okay, wait, was I going to talk about this? Was I going to talk about that? So always have some sort of notes, or always have some sort of visual aids. They can be slides. They can just be notes. They are extremely helpful. Do not rely solely on your memory, especially if you're someone that uses a lot of filler words, because if you're using a lot of filler words, that means something's going on. There's either a problem with you structuring what you're talking about and what you're going to say, or you're just not remembering things. So this is really going to help you reduce those filler words by knowing what you're going to say, when you're going to say what. Even if you're just going into a meeting, it should take you 5 minutes to write down quick notes. Okay, I'm going to talk about this, and then I want to make sure I ask this question, and then I'm going to bring up this after. So you can follow along. It doesn't have to be an exact, you don't have to be like reading off of it, but it just have some sort of guidelines of, okay, this is what I'm going to talk about. It's really going to help you figure out your thought process better, speak in better sentence structures as well. I've noticed that's one thing that really helps my clients as well. So make sure that you write them down, have some sort of visual aids to help you. Could be slides. If it's a presentation, obviously have slides. If it's just a meeting, have some notes with you. Really going to make a big, big difference. Now, number 5. Remember I talked about in number 3, I told you guys that you need to figure out what filler words you're using. So number 5 is really going to help you figure that out and make sure that you know exactly what you're doing. If you want to reduce filler words, and most of you guys are going to hate this. I hated this, but I had to do it because I knew something was off and I knew I needed to fix this. So what did I do? Number 5 is that you need to start recording your speech. Okay, that means video especially. Pick up your phone right now and put it up in front of you, hit record, talk about something for at least 2 to 3 minutes, and then go ahead and watch it. Okay, that's the thing. That's the trick. You got to watch it. Watch yourself, see what you say, listen back, because it's really going to help you figure out what words you're using, what nervous tics you're doing. Like some people, for example, they'll keep going like this when they're nervous. A lot of girls play with their hair when they're nervous. There's a lot of different things, but you need to know what exactly you are doing. And the only way you're going to know that is if you watch yourself. Record something, watch it. If you do a presentation, especially now that we're online, if it's on Zoom or something, record it and then go back and watch it. You don't have to watch the whole thing if it's an hour long, but go back and watch it because it's going to tell you exactly what you were doing during that time. I always do that. I always go back and watch my recordings and I'm like, okay, how can I improve? What can I not say next time? Or what can I add here next time to make that sound better? You have to start listening to yourself and watching yourself. The reason why I say watching yourself, because then you can see body language and all of that too. But body language is a whole other ball game. It's a whole other beast that hopefully we'll talk about some other time. But going back to filler words, when you record yourself and you watch yourself, you'll know exactly what filler words you're using. That's going to help you eliminate them because now you know I have a so problem or I have a problem or whatever problem you have. Let me know in the chat box, by the way, which filler words do you use? Do you use a lot? Do you use like? Do you use do you use do you use so? What type of filler words do you use? Is there another one that you use? Because some people have their own filler words that they've created that just come natural to them. Drop it in the chat box. Let me know. I want to know exactly what kind of filler words you guys use. Okay. So let's do a quick recap. And I like doing these recaps because I know that this helps you guys. It makes the information stick better. And I want you to let me know which of these 5 you're going to start doing right now. I always try to give you guys actionable tips that are going to make you take action now. If you want to get better, you guys stop wasting time, stop always being online looking for answers and start doing things. That's what's really going to help you make those changes. And one of those ways that you can make those changes is by coming to my masterclass this Saturday. If you don't know already, I'm going to remind you guys one more time, I'm hosting an absolutely free live masterclass where I'm going to be teaching you, especially if you're an introvert, how you can get promoted faster by the way that you speak, because that's been life-changing for me. I want to teach you guys all the tips and tricks, the techniques that I've learned that it's really going to help you as well. So join me on my live masterclass. It's happening this Saturday. And you can join by going onto my profile, click on free live masterclass, grab your seat. There's only 100 seats. Once those seats are gone, I close the doors and I don't let any more people in because there's a lot that we do during that class and I have to be able to respond to you guys. And I want to make it interactive. So I cap it at 100 seats. Want to see you guys there? Grab your seat right now. You can also go to www.theintrovertedspeaker.com if you can't find the link. You can also DM me, send me a DM. I always look at my DMs and I'll send you the direct link there. Okay, let's do a quick recap. And again, you guys are going to tell me which of these things you're going to start doing right now. First of all, tell me what filler words you use. I want to know, do you use so, like, what filler words do you use? Drop it in the chat box. I have that open. I do try to go back and review as much of it as I can. And I see some of you guys are already posting your filler words. All right, let's do a quick recap. Number one, if you want to reduce filler words, first thing you need to start doing is practicing slowly and being very deliberate about what you're saying. When you reduce your speed, when you reduce that pace, it's really going to help you think better, process your thoughts better, and give better answers. So that is number one, the most important thing. Number two, start adding pauses into your speech. I know they're uncomfortable. Most of us don't like them, but they're in fact very, very powerful. So start adding in those pauses. It's really going to make a big difference. It's going to make you sound so much more confident when you're speaking, and it's going to help you gather your thoughts better. It also helps your audience. It helps them process all the information you're giving them too. Okay. Number three, be mindful of your speech patterns. You have to know what you're doing. And we talked about that in number 5. You have to record yourself, watch yourself, and pick up on things. Do you say a lot? Do you say we a lot? Do you say so a lot? Do you play with your hair a lot? Do you scratch your neck a lot? These are all nervous tics. And the best way to get better is to actually watch yourself so you know what you're doing so that you can get better. Okay. Number 4 was to use visual aids. If you are someone that uses a lot of filler words, it means you have to organize your thoughts a little bit better when you're speaking. One of the easiest ways to do that is make some notes, write things down before you actually speak. Even if that's a meeting, if you're going into an important meeting, take out 5 minutes to write down your thoughts. This is what I want to talk about. I want to bring up this topic from last time, or I want to bring up this topic that I'm working on for the future, or this is a question that I couldn't figure out last time. I'd love to ask it this time. Write it down. The point is, write it down. It's going to really help you structure your thoughts. And once you know what you're going to say and how you're going to say it, those filler words are going to take a back seat automatically. Okay. And number 5, of course, we talked about recording yourself so you know what you're doing to begin with. Now, just a couple of last things for you. Filler words, not necessarily the worst thing in the world, but if you're using too many, general rule of thumb is if you're using 2 to 3 every 30 seconds, that's too many filler words. I still use some filler words, but I've reduced them significantly. And if you look at all great speakers, they use very, very little filler words. They'll use maybe 1 a minute. If you're using 1 a minute, I would say it's okay. But if you start adding too many ums and ahs and like, and and the same repetitive things over and over again, your audience is not going to like that. And it does not make you sound confident. So you have to work on that. Okay. Work on those filler words. I know some people tell me, so what? So what if I use filler words? Or I know people, like I've debated with a lot of people about this, and the more I look into it and the more I talk to other people, and I do a lot of audience research, audiences do not like filler words. So all you need to do is reduce them. Don't worry about completely eliminating them. We're just trying to reduce them. Okay. So please let me know in the chat box which of these 5 things you're going to start doing. Are you going to start speaking more slowly and deliberately? Are you going to add in more pauses when you speak? Are you going to be mindful of your speech and actually pick up on things that you do? Are you going to start organizing your thoughts better by making some notes or having some sort of visual aid? Or lastly, are you going to go ahead, take that big step, record yourself, and go back and watch it? Here, let me give you guys something here. Okay. If you want me to hold you accountable, go ahead, record yourself, do like a 2-minute recording and send it to me. DM it to me and I'll count and see how many filler words you use and reply back to you. Okay. Unless if I get 100 of these, then it's going to take me some time. But if you want someone to hold you accountable, let me be that person. Go ahead, record yourself, introduce yourself to me, do it by video and send it to me. DM it to me. Let me see what kind of filler words you use, because the one thing you should be able to do by now is identify those so that you can reduce them. Okay. All right, everyone, I want to say thank you so much for joining me this beautiful Monday morning. I hope you have a fantastic week. And again, last reminder, masterclass that I'm hosting absolutely free, absolutely live. And I don't know why I said absolutely live, but it's going to be absolutely free. It's this Saturday. I don't do these very often, so you don't want to miss it. It's from 11 a.m. to 12:30 Pacific Standard. If you want to join, if you want to get better at public speaking, if you're an introvert, if you're just tired of feeling invisible in the workplace, you want to get promoted, then you don't want to miss this. I only have 100 spots. Grab yours. And I'm very excited for this because I haven't done this in a long, long time. You guys asked me to bring them back, so I brought them back. So I hope to see you all there. Grab your seat. You can go to my profile, click on free live masterclass, or you can go to www.theintrovertedspeaker.com. All right. I want to thank you all one more time for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.